you know, it's funny. Sometimes I'm hesitant to tell people that I did it on my own because I think they disrespect it then. Like they don't respect it as much unless you had a lot of money behind it. Like I think they think, well, why couldn't you get any money? And I'm like, motherfucker, I ain't waiting for anybody. I'm not waiting for anything. If I have something that I want to do, I'm not waiting for other people to enable me to do it. I'm not doing that. I don't want this video in any way, shape, or form to appear to be a shot at somebody or, you know, trying to use somebody to get views or criticizing somebody or like this is genuine. Like I was really inspired by watching a video this morning that I don't know, like I thought about it all day. You know, I had a lot of stuff I had to do today. I was running around all day and I watched this video this morning and it was a video that Patrick Tommaso put out. I'll put a link to it in my description. And he was talking to an independent filmmaker, and I don't remember his name right now. Maybe he's well known. I have no idea. I didn't know who he was. I know he said he was 37 years old. That's all I know. That's all I remembered. But I wanted to talk about this because they were talking about, you know, I took it as they were talking about the freedom of being an independent filmmaker and also the shift. You know, like Patrick was talking about, he was thinking of making a film and maybe just putting it out on YouTube. Like he said, maybe it wasn't meant to be in festivals or, you know, get a licensing deal or whatever. Just put it out on YouTube. You know, like maybe it was meant for that. And, you know, they were talking about stuff that indie kind of filmmakers talk about. You know, forget about the studios, forget about the system, forget about all that stuff, you know. And the process of making the film, it was a really interesting interview. And, you know, I hesitate to talk about this stuff because I never want to sound like an arrogant asshole. But I thought about it all day, you know what I mean? And I was like, I should share this information clearly. You know what I mean? Like, so there's like no doubt about what I'm talking about. That if you're a filmmaker, and I'm going to talk specifically to filmmakers right now, you know, this could apply to any other art form, in my opinion. And I've done it in the theater as well, you know. And I'm equal parts a theater artist and a filmmaker, but since the pandemic, I've been pretty much 100% in the filmmaking world. But for basically 17 years before that, my whole life was a solo theater artist, a playwright and a performing artist. I performed 350 days a year for over 10 straight years. So I'll give you an idea that that was literally my whole life. But I've been a filmmaker straight up 24/7 since the pandemic, basically. And it's well documented how it all happened. I'm not going to get into it now. I had a play that was supposed to open, it got canceled. I wanted to make it a movie. So what am I talking about? And what's so compelling for me, you know? What's compelling to me is to try to share to people, try to get across to you that if you're a filmmaker and if you want to make a movie, I'm sitting, you know, I'm like finding myself wanting to get close to you. You can do it. And if you're really about your business, if you're about this life, then you will do it. That you don't even need me to talk to you about it. But the thing is, people watch these videos over and over again, and you watch these videos about cameras and all this gear and lenses and sound equipment and everything, right? And you might even watch videos about learning about filmmaking and watch some DPs film, you know, YouTube channels or directors or whatever. You know, you just watch to get as much information as you could possibly get, to learn as much as you possibly can about the process of making a movie. And you might even go to school. You might even have gone to film school and now, you know, perhaps you've gone in a different direction because it's hard to make a movie, right? It's hard to get it done. It seems overwhelming. You got to get all this money, you got to get all these people, you got to get all this gear, you got to get locations, you got to write a script, you got to come up with an idea. It's overwhelming, right? But I'm here to tell you that it's really not overwhelming. It's not. It's easy. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You know, for me, it's easy. It's not hard to make a movie, to make a feature film. I'm not talking about a short film. I'm not talking about a YouTube video. This is really easy for me. I'm talking about to make a feature film is easy. If you're about this life, if you're really all about it, like if you're committed to it, if you're dedicated to it, if you really, really want it, you know, like I'm not talking about like, oh, you have a dream that one day you might do this. Like, no. If you really want to do it, and if you have a camera or if you have a phone, and I am speaking from experience, because I did it both ways. I did it with a phone before I had any idea what I was even doing. I had no education. I hadn't even watched any YouTube videos yet, but I decided I'm going to make a feature film, and I did it. And I finished it. I started it and I finished it, and I fought my way through it, and it took me 2 years to do it, but I did it. And guess what? This is the part that I hesitate about, because I'm not good at talking about myself. I don't like to talk about myself. You know, I actually worked with some producers once who got so mad at me because every time they put me in a situation where I was being interviewed or something like that, I didn't want to talk about myself. Like, I will talk about my work. You can't even shut me up. I will talk about that ad nauseum forever. You got to cut me short. I will talk about the work. I will promote the work because I believe in it. And I will try everything in my power to get you to come see me in a theater, whether it be on stage or to see my film. I am the promotion king. I know how to do that. I got no problem with that, but I don't promote me. I don't say I'm good, I'm great, no. When I finish the project, I always work on a project that I believe in, that I think is important and meaningful, a contributing piece of art. And I believe in it. I believe in it more than anybody else could possibly believe in it. You know, one time, a mentor of mine in the past, you know, a very kind of famous guy, his name is Jack Rollins. He managed, you know, Billy Crystal and Robin Williams and David Letterman and all that. You know, he was a very prominent manager. And he once said to me that even the greatest artists need somebody to work with them who believes in them, maybe even a little bit more than they believe in themselves. And that's one of the only things he ever said to me that I totally disagreed with, because there's no way he believed in Billy Crystal more than Billy Crystal believed in himself. There's no way David Letterman believed in himself less than Jack Rollins. No way. There's no way, you know, like Robin Williams, as much as he had his intricacies and his weird kind of, you know, things, and obviously a tragic ending to his life. When I watch that man perform, when I look at him in film, or I saw him live a number of times, no question that guy believed in himself. He completely was what he appeared to be on stage or on TV or in the movies. Like, he was that, you know, he was just all about it, like I keep saying. And that's how I feel. Like, I believe in what I do. I wouldn't do it. You know, I dedicate my whole life to it. I don't do anything else. You know, anybody who knows me will tell you I give my whole life to this. And because obviously I believe in myself, and I believe in the work, and I believe in what I write, and I believe in my intentions. I know what I intend. I don't care what anybody else thinks or says or whatever. I don't care. I mean, I'm incredibly sensitive, and you can hurt my feelings, but you can't stop me from doing what I'm doing. You can't make me change my opinion about whether or not it's worthwhile. Now, whether it's good or not, that's up to you. Some people are going to love it, and some people are not going to love it. That's okay. That's art. You know, like I often say, some people love Metallica, some people love Jimi Hendrix, some people love John Coltrane, some people love, you know, Taylor Swift. Like, whatever, it's all good. You know, you can love whatever you want to love. So it's not for me. That's for you. That's for reviewers. That's for critics. You know, that's for whoever receives the work. If you enjoy it, that's awesome. If you didn't enjoy it, I tried my best, you know. But what I want to get back to is that you can make a feature film, filmmakers, without anybody. You know, if you only have a phone, that's fine. But if you do have the money, the resources to get a camera, get a camera. Get a decent camera. You don't need an Arri Alexa. You don't even need an FX3. You don't even need an FX30. I mean, I use a Panasonic S5. I'm shooting with it right now. You can get a Panasonic S5 right now for $750, like new, $800. You can get it for $1,000 or $1,100 from B&H. But you can get it on eBay or MPB for $750, $800, something like that. It's an incredible camera. I got all manual vintage lenses. You buy those lenses for $75 a piece, you know. I got my Helios 44-2, which is like this legendary lens, for $67. And it's an unbelievable lens, like unreal. It's beautiful. You don't have to get a G Master lens for $3,000. You don't need that. You can get a great setup. All you need is a camera, lens, sound, like lavalier mic, costs you like $40 for a really good lavalier mic, like at a Purple Panda. All of this is in my description in my video. So I know most people don't ever read the descriptions, but if you want to know what equipment I use, go to my description. It's all there. And I don't have any affiliate links or anything like that, although I'm going to start doing that soon. But I just listed everything that I used because I want to share that. Because what I'm doing and what I've done is really unique and something that nobody talks about. Nobody talks about really making a feature film by yourself, all alone, with no help, with nobody else, no crew, no friends, no nothing, just you. That's it. Your camera, great sound, get some lights. I got these Pixel RGB lights and Neewer RGB light. They cost me, I think, $59 or something like that. They're the size of a credit card. I'm using it right now as a key light, a hair light. Back here, I have a Ulanzi tiny little light that cost me, I think, $22, I think. I got a stick light back there that cost me $30. I'm using a light in that lamp. You know, one of those, I forget what the company is, but I have it listed. It's a light that I can control the temperature and the brightness from my phone. So I can create this scene right here for less than $150. So think about it. You can get a Panasonic S5. You can get a Helios 44-2, which is a 58mm lens. You can get all these lights, and you will have spent less than $1,300. Certainly less than $1,500. And let's say you want to get the FX30 or a different, you want to get great autofocus. So get a Sony a6700 for, what is it, $1,300, I think, or something like that? Or the ZV-E10 Mark II. Like, you can get a great autofocus camera for $1,200, $1,300. I mean, you can get a great autofocus camera for $600. You can get a A6400 now for like $650, $700 on eBay. I used it, so I know this from experience too. The autofocus, incredible. I hate autofocus. I don't trust it. I don't use it. I don't like it. I could see the advantages to it. And maybe the new autofocus with the AI and all that stuff is much better. But for me, for what I do, I'm all about vintage lenses and anamorphic lenses. And that's it. But I go out and shoot all by myself, because I don't have any friends who are filmmakers. And the friends that I do have who are in the film industry, they're working on like Hollywood, like they're making real money. They ain't coming to work with me. They're getting like $1,500 a day, to do their stuff. And I'm not even going to ask them. But I can go out and I know how to do composition. I know how to try to make every frame look like a painting. I know how to set my sound because I have studied everything. I come from a pro audio background, so I know how to set my sound. It's not rocket science. You can go on all these YouTube channels and learn about white balance and ISO settings and, all the stuff that you need. You can learn how to use waveforms and shutter angle and all the stuff, You can learn about how to set your lights and how to expose properly, how to use log. I bought DaVinci, I used DaVinci Resolve for the first 2 years, the free version, simply because it was free. And I learned how to color grade and I learned how to edit on DaVinci Resolve. I actually learned how to edit on my phone. I can't even remember the name of the program now, but I had this program on my phone. And it really taught me how to edit, but I edited just by instinct. Because like I said, if you're really about this, if you're really about the work, if you're really about telling stories, nothing is going to stand in your way of doing that. Nothing. you will do everything in your power to learn as much as you possibly can. My memory card was full. Sorry about that. And you know what's interesting about that? You know why my memory card was full? I have a 256 gig memory card, SD card in this camera. And it's because I shoot every day. I never leave my apartment without my camera, without 2 lenses, without my sound equipment, without, whatever equipment that I feel like I could use on the fly. Like if I get inspired, if I just happen to be driving around, if I happen to be anywhere doing anything, I make sure I have a little tripod, a big tripod, like I got everything with me all the time. And so I'm shooting every day, so that's why I ran out of memory card stuff, and I'm not using the Type 2 card in this camera because it's unnecessary for video work. I mean, if I was doing still photography, but, I ran out of room, so I deleted a couple of files and I'll finish this. But I'm just saying, if you happen to be, somebody now, I guess I'm saying this for the people who are like, finding all these excuses to stop yourself from doing stuff. If you're like somebody who's got a regular job, if you're working in a store, or you're a waiter, or you're an accountant, or you're a doctor, or you're working DoorDash, or whatever you're doing, whatever your life is, whatever you're doing, there is no excuse to not be able to make a movie if that's what you want to do. If you want to make a feature film, trust me, I have to do a lot of stuff to survive, but I'm writing all the time. I never leave without my laptop either. I'm writing every single day. I'm just doing the work because I'm about this life. You could do it. There's nothing stopping you. You can shoot yourself. Just figure it out. Make a shot list, make a storyboard, learn how to do that, study that, write a story, write a script. Like I made a video recently about write a script. I'm not like just trying to come up with YouTube ideas. I'm telling you what my process is. And here's the thing. You might be listening to this. Maybe Patrick Tommaso is even watching this and thinking, who the fuck is this guy? What is he talking about? It's ridiculous. And maybe you think it's ridiculous, but let me tell you something. The first film that I made, I shot it with my phone. Now, perhaps a cinematographer would look at it and go, that looks like shit. But guess what? I won so many laurels for that film that I can't even fit them on one poster. Best feature film, best screenplay, best original score, best actor. I mean, I do have an advantage because I'm an actor. So I am the only actor in my films. But I'm sure there's somebody in your life who would be in your film. Like if you live in New York, go to NYU Film School, go to the New School, go to Juilliard, just put an ad, in the Village Voice online or on Craigslist or wherever, Facebook Marketplace, just put it out there. There are actors who would love to be in a feature film all by themselves and get that on their reel. Or if you're not in the film and you just need some actors, then shoot an ensemble piece. I do solo piece because, I've tried to do ensemble, but people crap out on me all the time. And so I was like, you know what? I'm a solo theater artist. Let me really develop this solo filmmaking thing. So I'm shooting myself. First of all, I'm creating the whole thing. I'm writing it. I'm editing everything myself. I'm shooting it. I'm doing everything. I'm the actor. I'm everything. I'm craft services. I'm doing everything. And, I've done some really dangerous stuff, if you're, like I said, if you're really about this, if you're really serious, you're going to go out there and you're going to push the envelope and you're going to do the best you can. And I'm not advocating to not be safe, of course. Be safe. But I'm just telling you, you might find yourself in some precarious situations every once in a while because you'll do anything to get the story done. Just like any Hollywood set situation, any director, any cinematographer, they do crazy things just with millions and millions and millions of dollars. You don't need any money. None. All you need is to get your gear, which you have, whether it be a phone or a camera, it doesn't matter. I worked with really minimal. I had one RGB light for the first film. I had one light. I used natural light for everything. For the second film, I used a little bit more light from my indoor shots. But most of the film takes place outside, and I didn't ever bring a light with me outdoors. Like everything I did outdoors was natural light. But I made sure that my sound was like HBO worthy. And I made sure that the visual part, at least for this film, could stand up. And guess what? We just won a Best Feature Film Award at the Manhattan Film Festival, and it showed on a gigantic screen in Cinema Village in New York City, and it made me cry because it stood up. It was just as good as any film in that festival that had spent $200,000, $300,000. Some of the budgets that I heard, I was like, are you serious? I don't even know what I would do with $300,000. Now, I'm not against it, but honestly, I don't know what I would do with it. I don't need it, you know? Like Patrick Tomaso in his video today said something like, you know, a producer once said to him, well, this film is going to take like $1 to $2 million. And he said, for what? Like, I have everything. He has his grandmother's house, the location. He's got everything. And that's how I kind of feel. Like, I have everything, you know? And I'm the editor. I mean, I would love to have somebody else, like, maybe do the sound design with me or the color, you know? Like, I've gotten really good. Now I have the DaVinci Resolve paid version, and my color grading and my editing skills have gotten really, really good. I know what I'm doing. I only shoot in log. I've shot a lot anamorphic. Like, I'm telling you, like, I'm educated now. Like, I probably have a film school education. Certainly the experience, because I spent another 2 years on this second film that, did I mention it won a Best Feature Film Award at the Manhattan Film Festival? Oh yeah, I did mention that. See, this is the stuff that makes me feel like an asshole. Like, I don't like talking about myself like that. But the only reason I'm saying it is because I want you to know that anybody watching this video who is interested in being a filmmaker can do this. I don't care where you live. I don't care what, you know, the locations I used. I used an old broken down church across the street from me and used it as a mental facility, you know. And then I just drove all over the place. Like, I just went everywhere, and I used, you know, you can make any location look good. Learn about aperture, learn about composition. Like I said, just learn how to be a painter, be an artist, create the story that you want to create, figure it out, you know, plan it in advance, you know, make a storyboard, do that, make a shot list, but also be flexible enough. And, you know, trust me, the more you work, the more you're going to be able to create stuff on the fly and just start to piece it all together. Both of my films are over 2 hours. Well, actually, the first film is 2 hours and 7 minutes. The second film is about, I think it's 97 minutes. So it's less than 2 hours, which is a miracle for me. And so, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You know, like, I just felt like I wanted to share this because I'm kind of frustrated with all of these videos that I watch. And again, I'm not taking shots at anybody. This is no shade toward anyone. I am really tired of watching all these videos of people telling you to go get your friends to help you, or, you know, go do this or go do that. Like, they tell you all the things that you need to do to make a 3-minute film. And I'm telling you, you can make a feature film without all of that, without all of them, all by yourself, if that's what you really want to do. And you could do it really well, really well. The film that I just finished, again, I'm not going to say it's good or bad or whatever, but I know technically it could be on HBO. It could be on Netflix. I already saw it in a big theater. Everybody loved it. The response was off the charts. The sound, see, I was lucky. I have my friend Steve Peckman doing the score for me, even though I'm a musician, and I could score it myself. If I didn't have Steve available, I would do it myself. I scored a miniseries that I did. My friend David Diaz, who is a cinematographer, he helped me shoot a miniseries that was based on a live theater piece that I did, and we kind of married cinema with live theater, and it was more of a performance video, you know what I mean? But we made it more like a movie. But I scored it myself, you know, I played everything. So, you know, again, figure it out, because actually I had somebody watch this film, a filmmaker with a lot more experience than me, and he actually said to me, I'm not sure you even needed any music at all. Like, if you really dug deeper into the sound design of this film, and this was his opinion, this is not my opinion, but it was his opinion. He said, if you really dig into the sound design, I think you would have something even more grand, you know? And so sometimes you don't even need music, is what I'm saying. Now, I love the music to this film, but I could certainly see that, you know? And I would love to work with somebody on going deeper into color grade, you know, color correct, well, not color correcting, but just coloring the film, you know, to use the color to move the story forward, not to just get it correct or not to just have, you know, choose one main color for the film. No, I would love to work with somebody who breaks down every scene and goes, wow, maybe we could do this with the color. That would be cool. But my film is done. It's fine. It could be on HBO. It could be anywhere, you know. So I'm just saying, you don't need anybody. If you got a tripod, if you learn how to use a gimbal, learn how to use your camera properly, like learn everything, learn the fundamentals. Give yourself that education, because then you have the best chance of telling the best story, or telling your story in the most, powerful way that you possibly can. You're giving yourself the tools, the fundamentals. It's like learning how to do all the fundamentals in baseball before you get on the field and play the game. Learn how to catch grounders, how to catch and throw and, bunt and do everything. Basketball, learn how to dribble, learn how to shoot, instead of just getting out on the court because you're a great athlete. Because everybody here, I would say, most of the people who come to my channel, they're filmmakers, most of them. I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people are either filmmakers or photographers. But I think a lot of people have that dream to make a movie. And I'm just like, yo, don't pay attention to a lot of these videos that are telling you that you need to go get a bunch of people and do this and do that. And then you could do a 3-minute film or a 10-minute film. Like, you can make a feature film all by yourself with nobody else around. Nobody was around for any of my shots for either of my films. Well, my first film, The Center of Distance, my friend Audrey came for one shot because I was literally laying down in the middle of Park Avenue for one shot in Manhattan, and Park Avenue and 89th Street, and that's a good way to die. So I had somebody there to just make sure I didn't die, like just screaming when cars were coming from all different directions, and I had to keep getting up and getting back down to get the shot. So that's the only time somebody even saw me shooting anything for the first film, which was 2 hours and 7 minutes. So it's an incredible amount of footage. And for the second film, Steve Peckman was there when I went into the ocean in the middle of the winter, because, yeah, I went into the Atlantic Ocean in the middle of the winter. But nobody else was there for any other shot. I did everything myself. And I'm telling you, you'll look at the film and you'll think, damn, it looks like multiple cameras. It's pretty, like, you won't even think about it. See, that's the thing. You can make a film where nobody's going to think about it because it ain't about that. It ain't about the technical aspects of it. It's about creating a story where you forget about all that stuff, Nobody's thinking about that. People just want to cry, or they want to laugh, or they want to feel something. They want to follow the story. They want to get something that moves them. You can do that all by yourself. You don't need anybody. You don't need any other equipment other than probably what you have. And if you don't have enough, you could spend, I'm telling you, a couple of $100. Everybody has a cell phone that shoots video. So I'm going to say realistically, if you want to do something at the level that I'm doing it, you could spend less than $1,000 and make an epic feature film if you take the time to really learn. And at $1,500, you can have exactly what I have. And so if you want to see examples or whatever, go to rockwilk.com. You'll see the trailer to both of my films. You'll see links where you can actually see The Center of Distance. It's on Tubi TV. It's on a bunch of streaming services, but it's on Tubi TV. So just search The Center of Distance, Rock Wilk. You can watch the whole film. You can't watch This Is the End for Me, the new film, yet, because it's kind of navigating through the festival circuit right now. But you can see the trailer. It looks pretty good. And you can learn a lot about me at that website too if you want to. But again, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to take shots at anybody. I am a huge fan. First of all, Patrick Tomaso is my favorite YouTuber. I own a Panasonic S5 because of his videos. So I certainly would not take a shot at him. Like, he is my favorite. The little short films that he puts together before most of his videos, I love everything that he does. It's just that what they were talking about today, I mean, I'm not going to lie, it did kind of bother me, because I was like, yo, like, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, tell people that they could do it by themselves without talking about money and the industry and all this crap. Like, just say it, talk straight talk, just real talk. Like, take your camera and go out and make a movie. Learn DaVinci Resolve, learn how to edit, learn how to write a proper screenplay, learn how to develop characters, learn about, conflict and resolution and exposition and all the things that make a story. Like, immerse yourself in the education of storytelling and filmmaking in this case, and then just do it. Don't make any excuses. Stop thinking that you need more of this or you need that or you need money or you need more people, you need help. Like, you don't need shit. Wake up in the morning, throw all the shit in the back of your car and just go shoot and make a movie. Edit that shit and then share it. Put it on YouTube. Put it on Vimeo. Put it wherever you want to put it, you know. Learn how to deal with places like Film Hub. They're an aggregator / kind of sort of distributor. But if you get your film with them, and it's a great place to go because they really have a very kind of hard quality control to get through. They're very demanding. And so it'll teach you a lot. How to get, subtitles they want. They require posters in all different sizes. Like, you'll learn a lot about marketing a film. Like, I'm still trying to learn that too. So, yeah, you could do it. Stop making excuses. Stop being a baby. Just do it. Stop thinking like, oh my God, I'll never be able to do this because I can't get a break because my job is taking too much of my time. No. I'm telling you, like, I have a rule. If I spend a certain amount of hours per day just making money, I have to spend that same amount of hours on my art. So I'm talking about, even if I go work for 8 or 10 hours, I'm going to spend 8 or 10 hours writing or recording or making storyboards or doing something with regards to my art, rehearsing, memorizing a script. And so if I only sleep 4 hours that night, but that's rare, you know what I mean? But if I have to do it, I do it. And I work out every day and I take care of my body. Even though I deal with a lot of things. I played football my whole life, so I got a lot of injuries that I deal with. But I'm about this life. I'm doing everything that I need to do to get things done. And so all I'm saying is there are no excuses. It's so easy to make excuses. It's so easy to fall because everything that you would say would be valid and true. And yeah, of course, it could stop you. There's no question. But I'm just saying, if it's something that you really want, if it's something that you just like you require of yourself, otherwise you feel like you just like got no life, then you're going to do it. Then you're going to do it. And if you're not doing it, you have to kind of examine, why are you not doing it? Maybe you don't know this. That's why I made this video. Maybe you don't know that you could do it all by yourself. Maybe you don't know that you don't need anybody else, that you don't need anything else, probably that you already don't have. And you could afford a couple of $100, and if you can't afford a couple of $100, you don't need any lights. Just use lamps in your house, use the window, figure it out, use what Mother Nature gives you. The sun comes up every day. Use what you have. I'm telling you, the first film I shot was on an LG V40 phone and natural light, and that was it, and I used an LG V30 for my sound with a Purple Panda lavalier mic. Cost me $40. I plugged it into the LG V30. That's what I use for sound. I hit it. You never see it. So I'm just saying, you could do it. Stop making excuses. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and stop thinking it's never going to happen. And I hope this video kind of opens your mind up to something that you didn't know. Because I'm just saying, maybe you didn't know. Because I've never seen a YouTube video talking like this, telling you that you can make a feature film that could win film festivals, that could move your career forward. Because, once you show people that you can do this, and, it's funny. Sometimes I'm hesitant to tell people that I did it on my own because I think they disrespect it then. Like, they don't respect it as much unless you had a lot of money behind it. Like, I think they think, well, why couldn't you get any money? And I'm like, motherfucker, I ain't waiting for anybody. I'm not waiting for anything. If I have something that I want to do, I'm not waiting for other people to enable me to do it. I'm not doing that. I've done that in my career and I've wasted so much time, And then when I have had access or resources, usually they fucked it up, because once business people start to get involved, that might make things worse for you. It might screw it up. I'm telling you, take the opportunity now when you don't have anybody in your way to do it yourself. It's an opportunity. It's a chance to be unencumbered, to be free, do whatever you want. So stop. Stop making excuses. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Just like, look at what you want and just fucking do it.